Squamish, surrounded by mountains and located at the northern tip of Howe Sound, is a beautiful, growing community. It attracts outdoor enthusiasts and nature lovers thanks to its world-class recreation activities. The Woodfibre LNG project starts in the fall of 2023 and will employ approximately 800 people during peak construction. The company will be part of Squamish for decades to come, the community's largest employer when facility operations begin in 2027 and the world's first net zero LNG facility. From the early stages of project planning, Woodfibre LNG recognized the importance of working closely with and valuing the advice of Indigenous communities and is proud of the consent-based environmental assessment process that led to Squamish Nation becoming an environmental regulator on the project. The company also took steps to proactively identify and address concerns, including the impacts that project construction could have on the overstrained local housing market, community services, traffic, and the safety of Indigenous women.
My ancestral name is Cholik. Sukyo Siam Quinsnas. My chieftain name is Sukyo. Chief Ian Campbell. I'm a hereditary chief of the Squamish Nation. I believe the Woodfibre project is an excellent example of economic reconciliation, positioning the Squamish Nation as a regulator on the project, along with meeting our environmental values and substantive economic package that will benefit not only the nation, but the region, our members, for the foreseeable future. So I think it's an excellent example of how we can create certainty on major industrial projects with First Nations as key partners.
Planning for the Woodfibre LNG project coincided with Canada's national inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, which identified the intergenerational trauma faced by Indigenous people in Canada and chronicled the cases of more than 1,000 murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls that were lost to sexualized violence, in some cases linked to work camps. As part of addressing housing impacts in Squamish, advancing the safety of women both in the community and as part of the project workforce while providing top-quality accommodation for workers, the company decided to use a vessel called a floatel, which will be moored at the project site 7 kilometers south of the community and only accessible by boat. In early 2023, Woodfibre LNG, together with its prime contractor McDermott International, partnered with a Vancouver-based company, Bridgman Services Group. Bridgman provides floating workforce accommodation solutions for industrial projects in Canada and around the world, and is working in a joint entity with Squamish Nation's economic development arm, Inchikai, to supply the floatel. The vessel is currently in the refit stage and will arrive on site in time for the workforce scale-up for the project.
A floatel is a luxury accommodation on the water, which we've built for workforce accommodations around the world. What is so unique about the floatels is that they provide the ultimate living experience for residents who are ultimately the workforce of those projects. We've developed a plan where we provide premium accommodations, upgraded cabins, as well as amenities that are just like home. The refit, when complete, we will have 652 cabins to include private washrooms, very comfortable surroundings. We will also have amenities such as state-of-the-art fitness room, which is going to be 8,000 square feet, as well as other amenities such as games rooms, premium dining, upgraded cabins, as well as state-of-the-art internet, without creating any disruption to the day-to-day lives of the locals. We understand that it's very important for those individuals to have a safe environment to work and to live in. So one of the unique parts about having our own self-contained floatel is that we're able to control the security and the environment of those individuals. And in fact, we've created somewhat of a social environment that is extremely welcoming to those people. As a company working in British Columbia for over 10 years, we've developed a number of partnerships with First Nations on the coast. We're very excited about working with the Squamish Nation. One of the special cases that we've taken with this particular floatel, as we know that Woodfibre LNG is going to be net zero, is this floatel will actually be run on shore power. Further to that, we will have all of our own sewage treatment plants on board, as well as, and most importantly, heat pumps. We are taking steps to making sure the floatel leaves the smallest environmental footprint. Bridgman's, through the Clean Oceans Initiative, has effectively eliminated single-use plastics on board. Woodfibre LNG is committed to being net zero for the construction of the project. Bridgman's is here to support that goal.
while local workers from Squamish and the Sea to Sky corridor will travel to and from the project site daily by water taxi. Workers from outside the region will muster in Vancouver and be transported by water to the floatel for a 14-day shift rotation. Non-local workers will have no access to the community of Squamish, except in the case of a medical emergency requiring treatment beyond the capacity of onboard providers.
Floatels are brought in typically because of the remote location of the project. Because they have all the amenities and they are on a remote site, and that means there's no requirement to be within the local community. Women will always feel safe, just as all of our residents will feel safe. It's truly an at-home living environment. We understand and share the concerns that Woodfibre has about women's safety. We are taking significant steps to ensure women feel welcome, comfortable, and safe on board the floatel.
Hello, good day. My ancestral name is Sumquat and my English name is Shayla Jacobs. And I stand here before you as one of the elected councillors for the Squamish Nation. I am also a committee member of the Woodfibre Gender Safety Women's Committee. I am honored to have a seat at this table as an Indigenous woman and a mother of 2 daughters. It is important that I let my voice be heard at the table. I'm here to speak and advocate for all the women that are in the industry, especially Indigenous women. Part of the work that we are doing in the committee is to make sure that the floatel serves as 2 key purposes: to ensure the safety of women and girls in the community by limiting worker interaction, and to make sure that the culture on the floatel supports a diverse workplace. We will be reviewing Woodfibre LNG's gender safety plan for the floatel, and we are really pleased to let you know that there are steps put in place to ensure that the floatel can mitigate safety concerns on and off the floatel.
Woodfibre LNG and Bridgemans are committed to procuring from local and Indigenous businesses wherever possible, as well as offering training programs and employing local workers to provide onboard services where capacity exists.
Saying Bacolton Siam is my name, Chief Dale Harry. I come from Chilchilquay. Relationship is very important, not only for me, but for our communities. When industry comes in, we always want to make sure that they utilize First Nations peoples and also working with our local community. What we're having now is that we have a really good relationship with Woodfibre, and they're giving back. With Woodfibre, we could have employment, we can have training, we have education, we have business opportunities, we have people working inside with Woodfibre and the willingness to go forward on that. Our First Nation women, Squamish Nation women had some concerns, and with Woodfibre, they listened and they heard what they were saying, and that's why they got the floatel.
My name is Tom Harry, that's my nickname, but my ancestral name is Loxamo. When the nation gets a good handle on this, a lot of our nation members will benefit and have what we would call a more comfortable living. So if we can get them to work and give them that opportunity, and they can more or less be proud of themselves, what they do in their lives. And the best part is giving us the opportunity to get involved being part of the project. And I think that's very important, because then the nation themselves will say, oh, we got a good part in it as well.
My hopes for Woodfibre is that being with the employment, with the training, with the education, bringing revenue for the nation, naming and recognition, and also having, respecting our traditional values and beliefs and knowing who we are and where we come from. It's very important for our nation to let everyone know that we are here and we're not going anywhere.
Woodfibre LNG is also taking significant steps to ensure gender and cultural safety by establishing an advisory committee made up of Indigenous and non-Indigenous women from the community.
Hatsquatsinoya, Nethlin Koklet Kushami, Deanna Lewis Queensnaz. I have been working with the Woodfibre LNG on the development of their gender safety programming, as well as delivering gender safety training and awareness training about the findings of the inquiry of the murdered missing Indigenous women and girls to Woodfibre staff, contractors, and subcontractors from around the world. We had to find our voice to make sure our women's issues, Indigenous women's issues, are the forefront of conversations in the industry and in society. We know that too many Indigenous women have gone missing, have been murdered. We have lost too many of our sisters, mothers, cousins, daughters.
My name is Gwen Harry. My ancestral name is Wagiskimade, given to me by my family from up north. I joined the committee because I want to help. That's my aim, just to help women. When these young women need that protection, and I think the other one is the gay community, that we call them the two-spirited people, and they need that protection too. And I think this policy that is going to be put together is going to be a big help. So I'm going to support whoever is putting this together to help our women work in the workforce. And I know they're going to do a good job. It hits home because we had murder in my family. My granddaughter, she got killed, and it took a lot out of the family. You know, it hurts, and I don't want to see that happen to any family.
The province of British Columbia will amend the project environmental assessment certificate to address the floatel, and Squamish Nation will amend the Squamish Nation Environmental Assessment Agreement. Through the partnership with Squamish Nation and Bridgman's own commitments to the environment, the floatel will ensure that the nation's and Woodfibre LNG's priorities related to the environment, community safety, and the safety of women in the community and on board are met.
I believe we have an opportunity to take this and show what is possible and what should be the standard across projects. Our duty as women, as supporters and protectors of our next generation, is to make sure this project is delivered as best as possible.
The floatel will arrive in Squamish in early 2024, ready to provide high-quality accommodation to the workforce constructing the world's lowest emission LNG export facility right here in Squamish, in beautiful British Columbia.